Ever heard of Carthage's greatest war general? Such way. Meet Hamilcar Barca, the mastermind behind Carthage's resurgence. Born around 275 BCE, Hamilcar wasn't just any soldier, he was a force of nature. At the young age of 27, he led the Carthaginian forces during the First Punic War. Despite facing the mighty Roman Republic, Hamilcar's brilliant tactics and daring ambushes earned him the nickname Thunderbolt. After the war, Hamilcar didn't rest. He crossed over to Iberia, modern-day Spain, and started building a power base for Carthage. Under his leadership, Carthage not only recovered but thrived, amassing wealth and strength. And guess what? Hamilcar's legacy didn't stop with him. His son, Hannibal Barca, took up his mantle and became one of history's greatest military commanders, famously leading elephants across the Alps to challenge Rome. So, next time someone mentions ancient military geniuses, don't forget the name Hamilcar Barca. He wasn't just a general, he was the spark that ignited Carthage's flame. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more bite-sized history. Kapow Wiki out.
I'm sure you've heard the news. Sparta was more than just warriors. Let's uncover some cool facts. Sparta wasn't just about battle and brawn. Did you know Spartan kids started military training at age 7? Their whole life was about discipline and endurance. Even their meals were tough. They ate a broth called black soup. And get this, Spartans didn't use gold or silver money. They had heavy iron bars instead. Talk about a workout at the market. Women in Sparta had way more freedom than in other Greek cities. They could own property and even receive an education. So next time you think of Sparta, remember, it was a unique mix of strength and smarts. Stay tuned for more fascinating history bites.
If you're a history buff, then you need to experience the vibrant life of ancient Athens, and fast. Picture this. It's sunrise in Athens. The agora is buzzing with merchants selling everything from olives to pottery. Philosophers like Socrates are debating under the shade of olive trees. Kids are playing games with stones and sticks, while women gather water from the communal fountain. The sound of chariots clattering down the streets fills the air. Athenians are flocking to the Grand Parthenon to worship Athena, their patron goddess. In the evening, families gather for a feast, sharing stories and laughter around a flickering fire. Imagine ending your day with a play at the open-air theater, the crowd's cheers echoing under the starry sky. Ancient Athens was more than history. It was a living, breathing city full of life and energy. And now you know a piece of it too. Catch you in the next adventure.
Ever wondered what it takes to be called great? Alexander's story is one for the ages. Born in 356 BC, Alexander was destined for greatness from the start. At just 20 years old, he became king of Macedon. His ambition? To conquer the known world. In just over a decade, he created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to Egypt and into India. Winning battles like Issus and Gaugamela, he never lost a fight. A student of Aristotle, Alexander spread Greek culture wherever he went, blending it with local customs. But his life was cut short at just 32. Even today, his legacy lives on, inspiring leaders and history buffs alike. So, think you can conquer like Alexander? Subscribe for more epic tales from history.
If you don't like history but still enjoy fun facts, then buckle up. We're zooming back to ancient Rome. 1. Did you know that Romans used urine to wash their clothes? Yep, it's true. They believed it was the ultimate stain remover. 1. And get this, Emperor Gaius, also known as Caligula, once made his horse a priest. Talk about horsing around with power. 1. Gladiators were the rock stars of ancient Rome. But did you know they endorsed products? Imagine a gladiator saying, "Drink Roman cola, it's victorious." 1. Romans were the original fast foodies. They loved grabbing street food like sausages and chickpea stew. Move over, hot dogs. 1. Last but not least, Romans had heated floors. That's right, they invented underfloor heating. Toasty toes in 100 AD. Ancient Rome was wild, weird, and wonderful. So next time you're doing laundry, be glad you're not using Roman methods.
In a world where gods walked among men, the Greeks spun tales that still captivate us today. Ready for a whirlwind tour? Imagine a realm where gods and mortals mingled freely. At the heart of it all, the mighty Zeus, ruler of Olympus, wielded lightning bolts forged by the Cyclops. His brother, Poseidon, commanded the seas with a trident that could summon tsunamis. And then there's Hades, lord of the underworld, who governed the realm of the dead with a stern, cold gaze. But it wasn't all gods and glory. Heroes like Hercules battled beasts and completed impossible labors, while clever Odysseus outwitted sirens and Cyclops. And let's not forget the tragic love stories, like Orpheus, who journeyed to the underworld for his beloved Eurydice. Greek myths aren't just stories, they're windows into a world of wonder. So next time you see a storm, remember, Zeus might just be at it again. Ready for a whirlwind tour of ancient Egypt? Let's jump right in. First up, Egyptians loved their pets. Cats, dogs, even monkeys. They were practically one big animal party. Second, makeup wasn't just for the ladies. Both men and women rocked eyeliner to protect their eyes from the harsh sun. Talk about style and function. Third, let's talk about hieroglyphics. These weren't just pretty pictures. They were a full-blown written language with over 700 symbols. Next, Egyptians were master builders. The Great Pyramid of Giza was the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years. That's some serious staying power. Finally, did you know they had toothpaste made of eggshells and pumice? Yikes! But hey, anything for a bright smile, right? So there you have it, 5 fascinating facts about life in ancient Egypt. Stay curious, history buffs. If you don't like pyramids but still love history, then join us on a dive into ancient Egypt. Picture this. It's dawn on the Nile. You're a farmer and your day starts early. You grab your tools, head to the fields and work the fertile soil left by the flooding river. But wait, it's not all toil. Festivals? Oh yes. Egyptians loved their celebrations. From honoring gods to family gatherings, there was always a reason to feast. Education, even kids got schooled. Boys learned trades while girls managed households. Knowledge was power even back then. And food? Think bread, beer and fish. Simple, but oh so delicious. The ancient kitchen was a bustling hub. Clothing? Light linen was the trend. And don't forget the eyeliner. Fashion was as important as the pyramids. So next time you see a pyramid, remember the buzzing life that built it. Fancy living in ancient Egypt yet? Until next time, history buffs, stay curious.
If you're a history buff, you need to hear this. Cleopatra wasn't just a queen, she was a force of nature. Cleopatra VII, born 69 BC, wasn't just any ruler. The last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, she was a shrewd leader, fluent in 9 languages and a master of diplomacy. She had a flair for the dramatic. Remember that time she rolled out of a carpet to meet Julius Caesar? Yeah, that happened, and it worked. She secured Egypt's alliance with Rome, but Cleopatra was more than her love affairs. She was a brilliant strategist and a fierce protector of her kingdom. She even formed an alliance with Mark Antony, battling Rome in the famous sea battle of Actium. Despite her ultimate defeat, Cleopatra left an indelible mark on history. She represented intelligence, power, and the relentless pursuit of her people's prosperity. Her legacy, unmatched. So here's to Cleopatra, the queen who dared to dream big. Keep her story alive and let it inspire you to make your own history. Cheers!
I'm sure you've heard the news. Ancient Greece was full of drama, myths and awesome inventions. Ready for a trip back in time? First off, did you know ancient Greek kids played with yo-yos? Yeah, the toy you mastered on the playground is over 2,500 years old. Next up, did you know that the ancient Greeks invented the concept of democracy? The city-state of Athens is often credited with developing the first democratic system of government around 508 BC. Now let's talk about democracy. The Greeks invented it. Citizens voted with pebbles, no ballots, just rocks in jars. Ever heard of the Olympics? Of course you have. Started in 776 BC, athletes competed in the nude. Yep, in the buff. Finally, Greek theatres were the Netflix of the ancient world. Tragedy, comedy, drama, they had it all. So, there you have it, 5 cool facts about life in ancient Greece. Smash that like button and let's keep history alive.
Imagine waking up in the heart of the Roman Empire over 2,000 years ago. It's dawn in Rome. Citizens begin their day with a visit to the local bakery for fresh bread, a staple in every Roman's diet. By mid-morning, the bustling forum is alive with traders, philosophers and politicians. Here, ideas clash and deals are made. Afternoon is bath time. Romans gather in grand public baths not just for hygiene, but for socializing and relaxation. As the sun sets, the Colosseum roars to life. Gladiators face off in brutal contests, a spectacle of might and courage. From humble beginnings to epic battles, a day in ancient Rome was a tapestry of tradition, innovation, and unending drama.
If your idea of Vikings involves just raiding and pillaging, you're in for a surprise. Let's dive into 5 surprising Viking facts. First, did you know Vikings were expert shipbuilders? Their longships were engineering marvels of their time. Second, they had a thing for cleanliness. Archaeologists have found combs, tweezers, and even ear cleaners in Viking graves. Who knew, right? Third, Vikings weren't just about muscle, they valued brains too. They had a rich mythology and complex social structures. Fourth, Viking women had more rights than most of their contemporaries. They could own property and even divorce their husbands. And finally, Vikings loved to trade. They traveled vast distances from North America to the Middle East, trading goods like furs, silk and spices. So the next time you think of Vikings, remember, they were sophisticated, clean and savvy traders. Pretty cool, huh? Hit that like button if you learned something new today. If your idea of Vikings involves just raiding and pillaging, you're in for a surprise. Let's dive into 5 surprising Viking facts. First, did you know Vikings were expert shipbuilders? Their longships were engineering marvels of their time. Second, they had a thing for cleanliness. Archaeologists have found combs, tweezers, and even ear cleaners in Viking graves. Who knew, right? Third, Vikings weren't just about muscle, they valued brains too. They had a rich mythology and complex social structures. Fourth, Viking women had more rights than most of their contemporaries. They could own property and even divorce their husbands. And finally, Vikings loved to trade. They traveled vast distances from North America to the Middle East, trading goods like furs, silk and spices. So the next time you think of Vikings, remember, they were sophisticated, clean and savvy traders. Pretty cool, huh? Hit that like button if you learned something new today. These are mind-blowing insights into the ancient world of the Norse gods and legends. Stay tuned for some ancient wonders. Fact 1. Did you know Odin traded an eye for wisdom? He sacrificed his eye at Mimir's well to gain immense knowledge. Imagine giving up an eye for wisdom. Fact 2. Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, wasn't just a weapon. It was a symbol of protection and power. It also blessed marriages and was used in many rituals. Fact 3. Loki, the trickster god, gave birth to an 8-legged horse named Sleipnir, the fastest and most powerful of all horses. Yes, you heard that right. A horse with 8 legs. Fact 4. The world tree, Yggdrasil, connects 9 realms. It is the axis of the universe in Norse mythology. It's the ultimate cosmic hub. Fact 5. Ragnarok isn't just the end. It's a cataclysmic event that leads to the rebirth of the world. After the destruction, a new world emerges from the ashes. The Norse believed in cycles of death and rebirth. There you have it. 5 fascinating Norse mythology facts. Stay curious. Why did 90% of history's game-changing battles feature these 5 epic tactics? First up, the phalanx formation invented by the ancient Greeks. Soldiers stood shoulder to shoulder, shields locked, spears ready, unstoppable in tight formation. Next, the Roman testudo. Imagine a human tank. Soldiers formed a protective shell, shields all around and over their heads. Arrows and rocks, no problem. Fast forward to medieval times, the English longbow. Long-range devastation. At Agincourt, archers rained down arrows, turning the tide against French knights. Then came the Blitzkrieg World War II, lightning war, fast-moving tanks and aircraft. Germany's rapid assaults overwhelmed enemies before they could react. Finally, the guerrilla warfare. Think small hit-and-run tactics. From ancient China to modern-day underdog forces, used the terrain and surprise to outwit larger armies. These tactics changed the course of history and still inspire military strategy today. Which one fascinates you the most? Stay tuned for more epic history lessons, and don't forget to like and... If your thirst for adventure is unquenchable, you're a true Viking at heart. Ready to set sail? Rise and shine. The day begins in a Viking longhouse, the smell of firewood and earthy stew filling the air. After a hearty breakfast, it's time to gear up. Leather armor, sturdy boots and a trusty axe. The open sea awaits. On board the longship, the crew rows in unison, muscles straining against the oars. The salty breeze whips through your hair. Land ho! The excitement builds as coastal villages come to view. Next, it's time for trade and conquest. Barter goods, share stories, and maybe, just maybe, clash swords with rivals. By twilight, the spoils are shared, and songs echo around the campfire. Finally, under a blanket of stars, we rest dreaming of new horizons and untold adventures. Such was the life of a Viking. Epic, relentless, and unforgettable. Fancy living like a Viking for a day. Hit that like button and subscribe for more historical journeys.
If you're a history buff, then you need to hear this. The meteoric rise and dramatic fall of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, born in 100 BC, was a man of ambition and brilliance. From a young age, he climbed the political ladder with sheer determination. By 49 BC, he crossed the Rubicon, sparking a civil war that would change Rome forever. He became the dictator of Rome, but didn't stop there. His reforms and vision transformed the empire, yet his hunger for power made many uneasy. On March 15th, 44 BC, the Ides of March, his life was brutally cut short by those he once called friends. Caesar's legacy, a tale of visionary leadership and a stark reminder of the perils of unchecked ambition. Subscribe for more fascinating histories. Kapuiki.